Hello everybody and welcome to my first episode of my level 1 to level 100 series. Today we're going to be playing some amateur difficulty because as you can see my account is level 1. I have played no contracts yet and that is the only difficulty I'm unlocked currently. So let's get right into it. Alright, our ghost name is Eric West. Our objectives are get a sanity level below 25%, that shouldn't be too hard. Have a member of our team witness a ghost event. That's also easy, and capture a photo of any successful reading on an EMF reader. We can't do that right now because we only have the default items unlocked right now, so we'll try to get these done. And for this episode, I'm only going to do the ghost type because we can't get a perfect game because we don't have any cameras or any of the other required stuff, so that's what we're going to do. And one of the first things I do now is I check the name of the ghost. Since it's Eric West, that is a male name, and that means that any ghost that is like the Banshee and I think the Dayan, those ghosts can only be female. So if we have a male, that will mark off those two ghosts. Alright, so we're going to mark off Banshee and Dayan. So I'm going to grab a EMF reader. Also grab the flashlight to just make it easier to see, and a video camera to look for any ghost orbs. So grab this, and this. Alright, grab this. And also it might look like I am honestly mispressing some buttons because I was a console player and this is my first time playing on a computer, so just bear with me if it looks like I'm struggling to interact with stuff. First thing we'll do is get in here and turn on some lights here. And we'll keep the night vision on the camera because we need night vision to look for ghost orbs. So walking around right now, not seeing too much currently. I think I just heard an interaction, so I'm going to get out my EMF reader. That's what you use to look for EMF readings. So walk around and look for anything that got thrown, and if it did get thrown or interacted by the ghost, then it'll leave an EMF reading for us to discover. Anything in here that got disturbed? Doesn't look like it. We'll keep looking around. And amateur difficulty, our sanity drain's really slow, and the ghost usually takes a while to hunt, so we'll be alright with that. Oh, Jesus, scared me. Got an EMF 2 from that, so no EMF 5 yet, and the ghost might be in here, so look for ghost orbs, anything? Nothing. Alright, so obviously turn some lights on just so we can see better, and we'll look for the temperature. Typically, probably around now, the temperature of the ghost room should have gone down a lot, so we'll check around to see if the temperature's dropped in any of the rooms. It looks like we got the bone here. I think I'll just pick that up now because if I don't, then I'll forget about it. Well, honestly, I'll just wait. Alright, we see our breath in here, so this looks to be the ghost room in here, so what I'm going to do is I'm dropping some stuff in here. We'll look here, take a look around for ghost orbs. So do we see any? If there is, it usually highlights on the camera screen, so it doesn't look like there is any in here, so we'll look around, see if there's any EMF readings. Nothing right now. Alright, go back to the truck. Oop, looks like we're getting something. Anything? Looks like an EMF 4. Yeah, not too much of an EMF reading there, so we'll head back to the truck. And we'll look at our sanity. We're at 80, so that's alright. We already have the ghost event checked, so that's also good. Alright, so what I'm going to grab now, I'm going to grab the spirit box. We'll check for that evidence. We'll grab the dots projector, and I'll grab the notebook now before because if we grab that last, then it usually takes a bit for the ghost to regenerate. So we want to get all of our evidence quickly because we can't get any media because we don't have any of that stuff unlocked, obviously. We'll also keep the lights off in here because the ghost is more active when the lights are off. So I would always recommend having the lights off when you're in here. So, let's see, aim the DOTS projector, and we can drop that in here. Usually we try to find a better spot for it. Just some EMF 3 here, nothing to be concerned about. Alright. And I'll make sure I gotta place this down before I completely forget about it, because if I do, then I'm in trouble. Are you here? How old are you? Where are you? Alright, we got a response. Perfect. Oh, and it's running in the book. Alright, perfect. So, what we can do now is we'll open the journal and go to evidence, and we have ghost writing, so we'll check that, and also spirit box. So that leaves a Moroi, Diogen, Mare, Poltergeist, Spirit. I'm gonna head back to the truck and I can explain what each one of these ghosts does so you can have a good knowledge of it. It looks like the ghost turned off the breaker too, so if the ghost turns off a breaker, that's not the Jinn. The Jinn is the only ghost in the game that will not turn off the breaker. The Hantu likes to turn the breaker off too, but the Jinn is the only one that will never turn the breaker off, so we can mark that off. Looks like Jinn's not one of the options, so we don't need to worry about that. So, Moroi, the Moroi is very fast when you have low sanity, and it's more active when you have low sanity, but its weakness is when you unlock incense, it's very affected by the incense. It'll be blinded for it for a lot more than a normal ghost. The Poltergeist is pretty self-explanatory. If you know what it is, it likes to throw a lot. You'll notice during a hunt, it'll throw a lot of items very fast and very far. And also, even when it's not in a hunt, it can throw multiple items at once. And the Spirit, it's pretty much the most basic ghost out of any of the ghosts. It's very defensive, so it typically will be active when you enter the ghost room. And a good way to identify the Spirit is if you incense it, it won't hunt for 3 minutes instead of usually the 1 minute and 30 seconds that it takes a normal ghost to. And also the Demon is the opposite. The Demon can hunt much sooner after being incensed than the Spirit. The Mare is a lot more active when the lights are off, and a lot of the time it has a special ability where if you click the lights and turn them on, it'll instantly turn it off. So if that happens, that you can pretty much identify that as a Mare. And the Diogen is a pretty dangerous ghost when you're starting out, because what it can do is it knows where you are at all times. So if you're trying to hide in the closet, you will be unable to hide from it because it'll know where you are. But it's very fast when it's far away, but once it gets up close to you, it turns into like the slowest ghost in the game. Like, it's very, very hard for it to get you. So if it is a Diogen, you want to get out of your hiding spot as fast as you can and bring it to a looping spot, like the kitchen island here in Tanglewood, or some other spots like a couch or a table, because once this ghost gets close, it's very slow. It's very easy to loop. But one thing that I'll keep in mind is, since my account is brand new, we can't get the Diogen until I think level 20, so we can automatically mark off Diogen because that is not a ghost that'll give you until I think you're level 20. Alright, so there's none other that we can mark off right now because we haven't seen any other evidence, and I haven't seen any abilities that would tell me what any of these ghosts are. So what I'm going to do now is grab my UV light, and the UV light will look for fingerprints on doors, windows, etc. And if the ghost has touched a door or window, then it'll leave a fingerprint that we can see. So we'll look around, and any fingerprints on the doors, anything on the light. Looks like nothing right now, so we can't mark off that yet because sometimes the ghost won't leave any fingerprints, but for now we'll just keep that there. So another thing that I want to do is check the temperature of this. Let's see. Oh, so look at the thermometer right now. It's very low. It's under -5 degrees Celsius, which means that we have freezing temperatures. So we'll go and mark that off right now in our journal, and that'll tell us what ghost we have. So freezing temperatures, it's a Moroi. Alright, so the Moroi, that's the ghost that we have right here for our first run. The Moroi can be very dangerous once you get your sanity low. And also, one thing I can say is a ability that the Moroi has is when you get a response from it on the spirit box, it places a curse on you. And that curse can only be broken by taking a sanity medication, and that curse makes it so your sanity drains almost doubled. So if you notice after getting a response in the spirit box that your sanity has been going down quite a bit, then that typically means it's a Moroi. Alright, so we know what that is now, we can get out of here. Make sure it's marked down in the journal. It is? Alright, so we can get out of here. We unlock the motion sensor and the photo camera, so I'm gonna buy the photo camera because that is very helpful. So we'll buy 2 of these and go into the equipment manager and we'll equip that into our truck. We'll just put 1 in for now because I'm playing by myself. Alright, we're gonna do Tanglewood again for our next contract. And I believe it's the Christmas event right now, so you'll see some different decoration in there, which is nice. Alright, we have Alex Barton. Capture 2 paranormal sounds with a sound recorder. Capture a photo of any EMF reading. We can do that because we have the photo camera. And to escape the ghost during the hunt. So hopefully I'll be able to identify the ghost before it hunts, but if that's the case, hopefully I'll be able to escape it and we'll get that achievement. Alright, so again, this time I'm going to start with the thermometer to make it easier to look for the ghost room. We'll look at this for dots, and this time I'm going to grab the flashlight. Well, actually, I don't think we need the flashlight right now since we can use the nice night vision setting here, so I'll throw this flashlight down since we're not needing it right now. Grab the EMF reader, because the EMF reader, I'll say it's one of the most helpful things to grab with your first handful of items because it tells you where the ghost is interacting with stuff. Alright, and also, obviously before we leave, gotta mark off, since it's a male ghost, Alex, we'll mark off Banshee Day End. Alright, look in here, it's nice, there's some nice lighting in here right now, obviously Christmas event. So we'll get out this at first, look around for ghost orbs. Ghost orbs used to be pretty hard to find, so you'd have to be really careful looking for them, but now with the new media overhaul update, you'll see it, we'll kind of highlight it once we're using our video camera, so it'll make it a lot more apparent, if there is any. And on this map, the breaker can either be on this wall here in the basement, or the breaker obviously can be up in the garage. And what I'm going to do now is turn on my night vision filter here in OBS. Hopefully that'll make it easier for you guys to see if I don't have the lights on. I forgot to do that on my earlier run, so I apologize, but it'll make it a lot easier to see. And let me know in the comments if that's too bright or if it doesn't look good, because I'll be happy to change it. And voila, the bone. We forgot to pick it up last time, but ironically. But won't forget this time. Alright, the temperature is steadily dropping in here, which is a good sign. That means that there's a good chance that this could be the ghost room in here. And when the breaker's on, it makes all the temperature in all the other rooms rise, and it'll go down in the ghost room. So that's a pretty easy way to tell whether it's the ghost room or not. Turn this on. Any interactions? Nothing yet. Grab the video camera. These 2 doors in here, this closet and this one in here. Oop, ghost orbs here. So we can record that as some evidence, which is nice. Alright, and we'll go into the journal, we'll knock off some ghost orbs. And see what I was talking about earlier, how easy it is to see it now with that update. Also interacted with something, so we'll check. Any EMF readings. Look around. Looks like some EMF 3. Nothing right now. If it goes up to 5, that counts as an evidence, so. Alright, so we have this. We're not going to be needing this too much anymore. So we'll drop that. We'll have this on our hand just in case once it interacts we can tell. The next thing I'm going to grab is the UV light, the notebook, and we'll grab the spirit box later since I obviously have this in my hand. But these are 2 easy ones to check. We'll check to see if there's any ultraviolet prints on items, and put the ghost book down soon. So if it wants to interact with it. Oop. We got this, so check this. Nothing. We'll check for ultraviolet. Any ultraviolet prints on the light? Nothing, it looks like right now. Just keep looking and check the windows. Alright, no ultraviolet right now. If we get a couple more interactions and there's no ultraviolet pops up, then we can cross that out. There we go, that's down. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw this in here. And we'll throw this down in here too. Grab some more stuff from the truck and get some of the last evidence that we need. So right now what I'm gonna mark off is let's see, mirror. So we're gonna cross off mirror because the mirror cannot turn on a light. Mirrors like it when the lights are off, and you'll never see a mirror turn on the light. And we'll cross off ultraviolet because we didn't see any fingerprints on that. And I would never cross off EMF level 5 because there's only a slight chance that out of any interaction that a ghost will give a level 5 reading if that's one of its evidence. So unless you're gotten tons of readings that aren't 5, you should never mark that off. And anything else that we can check? Nothing else right now. Oh yeah, I'll explain these ghosts while I'm at it. The Revenant, it is very slow if it doesn't know where you are, but obviously during the hunt. But during the hunt, if it hears you on the microphone or if it sees you or detects any electronics you're holding, the Revenant will speed up ridiculous. It'll move about half a meter a second when it's in its dormant state, and then that'll speed up to a ridiculous speed when it knows where you are. So this is a very dangerous ghost if you're not careful. The Fae is also dangerous. The Fae can hunt you at a higher sanity. Most ghosts will only hunt you at 50% sanity and lower, but the Fae can hunt a lot higher. But the Fae will age. It'll get older when you're in the ghost room, and that'll make it hunt less often. It'll make it slower. And also when the Fae is young, it hasn't been aged yet, it'll be very fast. Yokai, it will detect your electronics from a much shorter distance. So for example, if you want to press your walkie-talkie button and the ghost doesn't see you yet, if it comes straight for you after detecting electronics, then you can usually mark off yokai. But the yokai will only detect your electronics if it's very, very close to you. I believe it's 3 meters. And the Yuri likes to slam doors or all the ghosts can slam doors now, but the Yuri will only slam a door, and when it does, it will make your sanity go down. I think it's 15% for each time it uses its ability, which is the slamming the door. And you can mark off a Yuri if it doesn't fully close the door, but we haven't seen any of those interactions yet, so I'm not gonna close that off yet. Raiju's is very active around electronics, and if it goes near an electronic during a hunt, then it'll speed up. And also it'll hunt at a higher sanity than other ghosts when there's electronics near it. So if you know it's a Raiju, turn all the electronics off, otherwise you're going to be getting a lot of hunts and it's going to be very dangerous. And the Onryo is a pretty unique ghost. It hates fire, and in order for it to hunt near a candle or firelight, it needs to blow those out first. But since it hates fire, it can blow out firelights very fast. So if you place down 3 candles, it'll typically blow out those 3 candles in very fast succession, whereas most ghosts have to wait 15 seconds to blow it up, but the Onryo can blow each candle out like 1, 2, 3, like it goes really fast, and after it blows out more than 3 candles, it will hunt. So you have to be very, very wary of that. And there's a good Onryo test that you can do. If you place a tier 1 or 2 crucifix near a firelight, and it burns that crucifix without blowing out the firelights first, then you can mark off Onryo, but we haven't seen that yet, so we're not going to mark that off. Alright, let's get back to the gameplay here. Gonna grab the spirit box and the dots projector to grab some more evidence, and then the photo camera, I'm not gonna really worry about that right now because we're not obviously going for perfect games. Obviously later in the series, once I unlock all the media gathering equipment, I'll try to go for perfect games when I can. Are you here? Where are you? How old are you? Throwing atoms might be out here. And you should always keep in mind when using the spirit box that it only works when the lights are off. So if you want to test for the spirit box, then you want to turn all the lights off in the room, because the ghosts won't respond if they're on. How old are you? Where are you? Are you here? Ooh, turn on a candle. Ooh, that's actually helpful for us right now, because since it turned on a candle, we can knock off Onryo, because the Onryo will never do that. Onryo's scared of fire. Are you here? Where are you? How old are you? Are you friendly? Where are you? Are you here? How old are you? Give us a sign. Alright, nothing on the spirit box right here, so I'll throw that down, and I'm gonna check one more time just to see if there's any fingerprints on anything. We already did mark that off, but it's always good just to double check. Never want to get caught lacking by a ghost that does have ultraviolet but doesn't want to give it. And there is a ghost, the Obake, which it does have fingerprints as its evidence, but it rarely ever will leave evidence on that. And if you ever see a 6-fingered handprint, that's an Onryo. Or not Onryo, sorry, a Obake. And the Obake shapeshifts during the hunt if you see it flicker to another ghost type. We just heard a door touch here, so let's go investigate that. Anything? Obviously we're looking for a Yuri. Yuri won't half close the door. Nothing yet. I want to check to see if the ghost has moved rooms, because it sounds like a lot of these interactions have been coming from other rooms, but looks like it's still in here because we have freezing temperatures, and that is an evidence type, so we'll go for freezing here. Ooh, it could be a revenant, so we gotta be careful. I don't want to get too low. And a Yuri, obviously door slams. We already crossed off Onryo. So I'm gonna go back to the truck right now. I'm gonna check my sanity. I gotta go fast if it is a revenant because I don't have incense right now, and it's very difficult to lose a revenant. It's way faster than you, so I might get cooked if it is. But obviously you're on amateur difficulty, so the sanity doesn't drain very fast, so we're good with that. So I'm gonna head back in and we'll check for some more evidence. So we'll see if it wrote in the book, because the revenant's evidence is ghost orbs, ghost writing, and freezing temperatures. So we'll check any writing in the book here. Oh, it looks like it did. Here, let me pick it up just so it's a little bit easier for you guys to see, but this is what it typically looks like if it did write in the book. I'm not usually used to using this tier 1, but I'm like 99% positive that is ghostwriting. But a way that I can double check right now is, I'll place this down, but if I go and grab the photo camera, I can take a picture of it, and if it says ghostwriting, then we'll know that's what that is. Obviously the issue with the tier 1 book is it's hard to see if the ghost has written it or not, and it's also doesn't have a good radius, so the ghost won't be super interested in it. And it's kind of funny using all the tier 1 items, because on my other account, on my Xbox, I think I was level 95, but since I switched to PC, all my stuff got reset, so that's why I wanted to make this series here. So we can turn this on, take a picture of that because we got an EMF reading. And also, we'll look here for this book, see? Now I put up here, go to media, anything. Oop, ghostwriting. So yes, that was ghostwriting in the book. It's very faint, it's hard to see, but that's what that was. And it looks like we didn't catch the EMF reading in time, but looks like we got ourselves a revenant here. So just to double check, we do have freezing temperatures, ghost orbs, and ghost rating. So it looks like we have ourselves a revenant. The revenant is my I would say the scariest ghost for me, because a lot of the time I hear it, I think it's slow, I think it's Diogen, so I'll run away, and the second it detects me, hears me, then it comes sprinting for me, so it's not good. So that'll be it for this contract, and I think I'm going to leave the episode here at that. Let's just see if we got it right. Looks like we got it, yep, so the ghost was a revenant. We collected the evidence and we knocked off the 3 evidence. We crossed that off, so that leaves us with that ghost, and that's where I'm gonna leave the episode at today. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you like my content, leave a like if you like the video, and that'll be it for this episode. Tune in for my second part, and we're gonna keep doing this until we hit level 100. That's gonna be my series. So catch you all later.